Okay, it is right around 4:30 p.m. on Monday, August 21st. I had a few phone meetings I needed to attend over the phone, obviously, this afternoon, and so did not have to leave my unit, although I was out of my unit 5 days this past week and only stayed home yesterday, which was Sunday. And the reason I'm making this video now is to follow up on a video I made earlier today where the aggressive and violent sex offender directly next door in Unit 88 started making violent banging and pounding noises repeatedly against the shared wall of his unit with mine last night as I was opening a photo that my mother had just emailed me of my niece out in California. My niece is a preteen under the age of 13. Well, she actually just turned 13, but, just recently, and is a child and does not come out to Boston very often. And when she does not visit me in this building or go anywhere near this building. And she does not have a social media account, and I do not post pictures of her on any of my social media accounts, which at this point, the only two that I still use are YouTube and LinkedIn. My Facebook account has been dormant and unused for 7 years now. I basically ditched Facebook in 2017. So I have not posted anything on my Facebook account since 2017. In 2017, my niece was 6 years old. So any photos of her that might still be on that Facebook account don't look like her anymore. I also haven't been on Twitter in about 7 years as well. And I have not been on Instagram in over 2 years. So any photos I might have posted of my nieces or nephews in the past were when they were toddlers, and they don't look like that anymore. However, the sex offender / convicted rapist who currently lives in Unit 88 and who never, ever leaves his unit, he's under some type of house arrest, apparently, because he never, ever leaves his unit. If he does leave, I'm always so excited when he leaves because I wish he would just leave permanently and never come back. But he always comes back within like 30 minutes to, maybe an hour or two. So there's something going on with him being under some type of monitoring situation where he can't leave his unit. He appears to be fairly young. I'm not sure why anybody who's, under the age of, I'd say maybe 35, would stay in a unit nonstop, 24/7, 7 days a week, month after month. And he's lived next door to me for about 8 months now. So he makes violent banging noises against the wall of his unit with mine whenever I do anything that is personal or private, such as trying to use my toilet or such as trying to take a shower. If I take off my clothes, he becomes violent and aggressive against the wall. And he, up until very recently, was frequently making violent and repeated loud masturbatory noises against the shared wall when I would basically, try to change out of my clothes in the privacy of my apartment. But a few months ago, his behavior really crossed a line, and I almost went to the police about it, except that I didn't want to worry my brother, when the creep next door started violently pounding on the wall just after I'd gotten off the phone with my preteen niece. At the time, she was 12. And I just had a nice chat with her, pretty close to my brother's kids. And he started pounding the wall, and then he went out to the hallway outside of my door and started shouting her name and saying that, he was shouting her name and saying that she had big boobs and long blonde hair. How does he know this? She lives in California. She never comes out here, and when she does not go anywhere near this building. And as I just mentioned, she does not have a social media account, and I don't post pictures of her. And about an hour ago, maybe around 3:30, 3:45 p.m., while I was reviewing the video that I had made earlier today about that incident and about the one this morning and last night, where the creep next door was shouting her name as I was walking down the hallway this morning at around, 11 a.m., and he started repeatedly pounding the wall behind where I'm sitting right now. That's the wall of his unit last night when I had opened a photo that my mother had emailed to me of my niece. And I sent back an email saying, hey, the kids look good, and, blah, blah, blah. And he started becoming violent at that time last night. It was around 9:30 p.m. And just now, when I was reviewing the video I had made earlier today about that subject, the thug directly below in 76 started making repeated violent pounding noises. While I was reviewing the video I had made about how the creep in 88 somehow knows what my 12, 13-year-old niece looks like. And the creep in 76 directly below makes pounding noises violently, not by accident, but again, also when I happen to do certain things in this unit but not others. This guy below likes to make violent pounding noises directly below wherever I happen to be sitting or standing, to let me know that he has knowledge of the exact location wherever I happen to be sitting or standing at any given moment. And he likes to do it when I pick certain parts of my body. So he has this issue with me picking my armpits or scratching my armpits or whatever, right? He does violent banging when I do certain things, usually when I'm lying on my bed, but not others. And just now, about 45, 50 minutes ago, again, I was lying on my bed reviewing the video I had made about my niece and the creep next door, and the violent thug in 76 started making repeated violent banging noises directly beneath my bed to let me know that he has some kind of knowledge of the situation, with the creep in 88 having knowledge about my niece. So that makes two sex offenders who know something about my 12, 13-year-old niece, because apparently making sudden violent banging noises repeatedly, but for a short time, while I'm in the process of doing something, saying something, or watching something is prison code. You know, these thugs are technically not in prison, but they are here. It's prison code for, I know about this, or I have something to do with this. And the thug in 76 directly below, when he started making the violent pounding noises at around, 3:45, 3:50 p.m. today, while I was reviewing the video I had made about my niece and the creep next door, he had not made any banging noises for probably about a day and a half, and has not made any banging noises since then. So the 5 or 6 violent banging noises that he made while I was reviewing my video where I was talking about how the creep next door knows about my 12-year-old niece in California, that was not an accident. And the creep in 76 was deliberately making those 5, 6, 7, 8 banging noises all of a sudden out of the blue to send a message that he has knowledge of that situation. And so that makes, again, two sex offenders who know about my 12-year-old niece in California who just turned 13. That is a real concern, because as I keep mentioning, the contents of my phone and of the videos that I make on here and photos that I have on here should not be known by anybody in this building, but people react in real time to photos that I take or photos that I look at or photos that I edit, or videos that I make but don't post, or emails that I send that they should have no knowledge of. So again, the Greenville group has been using the services of a cybercriminal / hacker / psychopath / sex offender for at least 10 years now, named Jasmine Irizarry. She continues to access the wall behind this unit and engages in the same exact pattern of stalking, harassment, and physical harm as she has been for the last 8.5 years, even though the Greenville group keeps telling me they've moved her out of that unit and it's supposed to be empty, with only Jorge, the maintenance manager, staying there once in a while. And there's no possible way that this psychopath can possibly be sitting behind this wall because the door is locked. Well, she likes to sit behind that wall and eavesdrop on what I do, make smacking noises directly against that wall when I happen to do certain things but not others. And she hacks into my phone and then doxes the contents to the residents of this building, many of whom are registered sex offenders, convicted rapists, and career criminals and thugs that you would never want, them to have any knowledge of your 12-year-old niece or daughter. But they do, and that is a real concern. And once again, I have to go report this to the police, because this is like the third time that this has happened now with respect to my 12-year-old niece in California. Not only does the creep in 88 seem to have knowledge of who she is, but also what she looks like, and now the violent thug in 76 directly below also has made repeated banging noises whenever I've been making a video about her or watching a video about her. And that is prison code, evidently, for I know about this, or I have something to do with it, or both.